Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Sports Show with Jamie Davies, Jack Price, Conor Porter, Joe Stanley and Andrew Pollard. And for the next hour, we're going to talk about sport, especially the Premier League, as Manchester United got their first defeat of the season at Brighton. And then, of course, Manchester City, the form continues with them. They look to be the favourites for that Premier League title. 2 games in, they are absolutely loving it in the Premier League once again. So we're going to talk about football, talk about the test, talk about F1, everything from A to Z right at you over the next hour on Calon 105 FM. Welcome back to the Let's Talk Sports Show, and that was Stevie Wonder there with Another Star. Now, if you remember the World Cup 2014 coverage of the BBC, that was their intro song when the World Cup took place in Brazil. Good afternoon, folks. Well, good evening. Well, whatever time it is. How are you all?
There.
Good save there.
Way to break the 4-4 right there. Good afternoon, good evening.
How are you?
This isn't pre-recorded. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, yeah. So you look delighted, Jack. Are you happy?
Always.
Always. Well, of course, after Saturday, you will be delighted. Joe, right now, Crystal Palace are playing Liverpool, so, you're not really sure yet. Selhurst Park, as we all know, is a great place for Liverpool fans. It actually broke Steven Gerrard that night, didn't it?
Yeah, we can edit this in. We're 1-0 up. We're 1-0 down. We're drawing.
Well,
we can edit it.
No one's going to edit that, but
I will say this now, Joe. You won't be winning at the end of the night.
Yes, you will.
Okay then. I mean, Sacco to get a hat trick. I mean, that would be something out of nowhere. But it's Liverpool.
What,
anything
fat
can
burners.
Benteke.
Benteke hat trick.
Don't go there.
But quickly, Joe, your thoughts ahead of the game. Well, even though it's taken place, your predictions.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game of football. Obviously, Palace aren't an easy side, especially at Selhurst Park, so it'll be a tough test, but I think Liverpool will get the victory.
Okay, scoreline?
2-1.
2-1.
I said that on the YouTube video.
Oh, right, yes, I can't remember. You can, if you really want to watch the preview now when it's a bit too late, it's on our YouTube channel. Just subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. Yeah. even afterwards, because if Liverpool lose, you can watch it back and go, oh, that was before we lost. That was good times. Anyway.
Drop a couple of comments in there, say, Joe, you were wrong. Or something like that. Just get our engagement up. That'll be nice.
There's always one person that haunts Paul Merson each week. When he gets his predictions wrong, apparently, on Twitter, he keeps going, yeah, you were wrong this week.
That's good for his engagement, so I'm pretty certain he'd be fine with that.
One engagement, then others follow, apparently.
Do you remember when he lost his tooth live on TV?
Yes, I remember that. He was eating a sandwich live on TV.
There's a goal. And my front tooth's just fallen out.
Oh, it's been so long since his playing days. Anyway, let's talk about the Premier League then from the weekend. Now, Sunday, let's just say the Seagulls pooed on Manchester United, didn't they? It was not a great result for the Reds, but the Brighton Hove and Albion have put pressure on Mourinho. To be honest, we were all waiting for when that first defeat was going to come. It's already come in the second game of the season. Conor Porter, I know you love Jose Mourinho. I know you absolutely love him.
Of course, he's one of my favourite managers of all time.
Yeah. But anyway.
No sarcasm in that whatsoever.
Mate, you've got no Oscar in that. I can read you like a book.
I need to work on my acting skills.
You do. Go and see Daniel Day-Lewis.
All right, no need to brag about our other jobs. Come on. Let's get back to the football.
But anyway, Brighton, great performance. Man United were all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give full credit to Brighton straight away from the off. They were wanting to win this game, wanting to get the result, and then took an early advantage in the first half, going by 3-1 up by half-time. United really slow throughout the game and really didn't look like they wanted any effort in terms of trying to get the result. Only a late penalty really managed to get something back for them, but wasn't really a lot in the sense of the result. And it was pretty much in the bag by pretty much like the 80th minute mark or something like that. Brighton would shut up shop and they managed to get the job done. Was it Duffy that did the late challenge?
It wasn't really a penalty though in my eyes.
No, I think it was more of a case of the referee trying to make something out of the game at the very end to at least give United something, but. Even
that was
the referee,
10 years ago.
Even the referee couldn't do that much for him, and then Jose Mourinho goes and complains about him in the press conference afterwards because of the fact that how Leicester City in the Old Trafford game managed to get Kasper Schmeichel up for a corner near the end of the game to get the chance on target to equalise. But when United tried to do that from their corner, he blew the whistle as soon as the ball went up in the air or something. So it's like classic Jose Mourinho complaining about other things other than himself. So.
Okay, as you can see, Conor is a big fan. Big fan. Jack, is this starting to feel like like what you had with Chelsea when Mourinho was in his third season? Because obviously it was 3 years ago where they were defending the Premier League title. And even before Christmas, I think you already had 9 or 10 defeats or something like that. And you were on the bottom half of the table. Could that happen with Man United?
I don't know. You got to about November, was it? Was it November?
Yeah,
October, November?
What was that
Leicester
famous
game was the last one we had.
What was that famous quote you did on the Let's Talk Sports show? It's like, well, whatever happens, we'll go up to 13th.
Yeah,
like that.
we need to win this week, and if we do, we go to 13th place. So you'll be trying to beat me in this year. Hopefully.
That was against Leicester when they were going for the title.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Sad times for us. But in terms of you, I mean, I think I turned over. United. In terms of I turned over about the 30th minute, and even between 30 and 45, your defence was, well, it might as well not been there. I'm not sure what was going on. They were passing up in the air. It was just going straight up in the sky. Even De Gea was a bit, I don't know. Since he's come back from the World Cup, he's been a bit dodgy as well. So I don't know.
He needs to get rid of the ponytail. I think it's a bad curse.
Yeah, it's the top knots for keepers.
Top knots, yeah. Oh dear.
You started your puns now, have you?
We would share with you Joe's radio idea, but we better not because we'd probably get in trouble. We'll put it on YouTube, but no, it's not.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. Maybe not. He's got a new haircut today, but as Conor said earlier, he is probably Joe's evil twin brother. We'll find out later. Answer our postcard.
What, Jose?
Eh?
Jose. Spanish evil.
Spanish for oh dear. He's Portuguese actually.
Yeah, but Jose's Spanish name. So.
All right.
Well,
okay.
it's all gone.
Okay.
It's all gone.
Some of us are a bit cultural in here today, aren't we?
Well, I have been learning Spanish recently.
Oh dear. But Andrew, of course you've actually done a piece today about who could replace Jose Mourinho.
I did, yes.
So it's looking like even yourself, you're starting to think his time is nearly up.
Yeah, and also it's just a nice way to make some money. Capitalize on what's popular. Already there's a lot of fans seemingly clamoring for his head, but they were last summer and last season, and then throughout the summer he's moaned about his World Cup players taking extra time off. He's fined Anthony Martial for having the audacity to attend the birth of his second child. He's moaned at the board for lack of transfers, which I can understand a little bit in that, especially the whole debacle about the centre halves.
I just feel like with the lineup he's got, he doesn't need any more transfers.
Centre-half.
He needs a couple of centre halves.
Yeah. I really like Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof. I rate Lindelof, but yesterday they were awful. Absolute, awful.
No Vidic and Ferdinand, sadly.
Yeah, but then you can see like Smalling and Jones in the stand, and you're like,
yeah, it's like
they're the backups.
Rojo maybe, but it looks like Rojo might be off before somewhere in Europe. But yeah, it's sad times. I don't know. It's almost at the point. Well, I mean, it's only 2 games of the season, so it's not to dramatise things too much. But you're thinking, keep hold of Fossey Mensah, give him a game. Turanzebe, who's gone on to Villa, I think it was in the end. You're that desperate for centre halves now. Whoever you play, just aren't proving it. Rojo, I think, could come in and do a job because he's very much a Jose player, and he's an ugly, dirty player that just gets the job done. Which you need that. And the 2 United centre halves yesterday just looked like none of them wanted to take control, take the lead. It was just like almost. I mean, it's kind of topical, but it's almost like to me to you. As in, no, I don't want this. You have that. No, I don't want that. And it just, it was poor yesterday. And I think from what Jack was saying, I think November time it could even be before Jose's out the door.
He said in his press conference after the game that they would have a realization. Or he said this before the season as well. They have the realization if we can win the league or not by November, December time, which to me already smells like a deadline as to when I want to leave this football club.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it was November last year. We lost the title. I thought Chelsea when we lost 1-0 to them.
Yeah,
and we were 8 points behind after that.
Well, Jose's only been he's had 2 jobs that have been over 1,000 days. There was his first stint at Chelsea was 1,200 days, and then I think it was Real Madrid was something like 1,120 days off the top of my head. The other jobs have been
for quite a bit.
No, Porto. He was. It was just under. It was like 900ish, like 970.
And he won 2 European titles, didn't he?
He did, yeah. UEFA Cup and the Champions League, of course. But yeah, at the moment at United, he's up to. I think I actually did some research yesterday, and I think he's up to about 825 days at United. So it's getting to that point where this is the bit where he normally just like laughs off into the sunset with a big bag of money, while giving the V's to the fans he's left disappointed and the team he's left in ruins. So I don't think it bodes well for United. He definitely will be there for next season. I don't think.
My favourite thing yesterday was seeing that the news was David Moyes is going into a big move this year.
Oh.
He's looking for a big club to go into this year, and everyone's just like Man United.
Funny enough, I don't think Ferdinand would welcome that
He's like, I'm
return.
back again.
I mean, he saved West Ham from relegation, so he could do the same for United this season as well.
I mean, as someone with an Everton soft spot, I thought Moyes did a great job at Everton. At United, awful. Where he's been since, awful. But then, to be fair to him, West Ham, he did an all right job with what he was tasked to do, is in come in and save that club. And he got him playing some actually all right football by the end of the season. But yeah, it was just cheers, Dave. Nice one. There's a little bit of a payoff.
Yeah, here's Pellegrini.
Here's
the money.
Yeah, I did feel a little bit sorry for him, but balls to him.
Thing is, I think Moyes is one of those that you just have to put up with him working, and when that opportunity comes, you go, go off, get on your bike, or your Mercedes or whatever car you got.
Every press conference, you seem like you're watching a really boring, dry live action version of Mo Sislak from The Simpsons. It's just it does nothing to endear to him. He's just.
I was going to say, you wouldn't want Moyes behind the bar, would you? It wouldn't be very interesting,
I'm pretty certain now, after your description, that Jose Mourinho is just basically the Portuguese version of David Moyes. Seems to have developed into that. The way that you were speaking in the press conference yesterday.
Yeah, or Spanish, as Joe said. Yeah.
But Mourinho won trophies, Moyes didn't. Moyes with a trophy like the Shield was a bit weird.
Yeah, Moyes won the Community Shield. I mean,
in his first game as well.
Exactly.
I thought he was going to get
what
better.
did Jose
after that.
do in his first game? He didn't win the Shield, though, did he?
Technically, he did actually. Beat
Did
Leicester. Yeah, beat Leicester.
Really?
2-1. Ibrahimovic with a header, and you said he would never make it in the Premier League.
Well, he hasn't, though. Has he? Where is he now?
Well, he's left because
He's got one season wonder. That's it.
28 goals. That was a good
So
one.
you're basically saying that Zlatan is just a Swedish version of Andy Carroll?
Pretty much.
One season wonder.
Pretty
that?
much.
44 goals, according to Joe.
Well, we can't hear Joe, so it's okay.
Yeah, doesn't count. Keeping this microphone well away from him now. Let's talk of Liverpool. We'll get to there, I'm sure. But no, with United, I think this season it's that big stick or twist summer where it's obviously it's been a little bit the wilderness years since Fergie left. They've won their trophies here and there, but not the big one. And it's always going to be hard to compete with City these days. Liverpool have improved massively. Tottenham have got a great squad. Chelsea could be coming back by the looks of it. Arsenal, if they get going, can be. And it's make or break, I think, for United. If they don't do something by the end of this season in terms of it just improve in terms of their general style of play. It's getting to that point where players don't want to go to Old Trafford anymore, even though they've got the stature of one of the world's biggest clubs, arguably the world's biggest club. Players, Kovacic in the summer turned them down because he didn't want to go and play for Jose Mourinho. And if you're getting players that are doing that, the top players, and you're still desperately trying to cling on to compete to these teams who are pushing on past you, then United could be in real trouble if they don't get things rectified this season, because then you risk doing, and I'm not taking a dig here either, what Liverpool did in the 90s, where it's just you drop out the running. You're no longer seen as a big club. And it's hard to reclaim that.
It's like Arsenal, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under Arsene Wenger over the past 10 years, they went from a club that went unbeaten in the league to a team that's really struggling to even go on and win a domestic trophy every single season, and they see the FA Cup as a huge success for the football club.
Yeah.
So, United are certainly in the danger of falling into that trap if they feel satisfied with Jose Mourinho every single season, which I feel as though the fans aren't at the moment.
No, I don't think the board are either. It's typical third season Mourinho, I think, where he's at that point where he's ruffling feathers everywhere. The players are getting disrupted. The board are unhappy with him. He's publicly coming out and slating everybody and anybody. It's, as Conor said, it's never his fault. And it's where it starts to poison the club. And we saw what he did at Chelsea when he brought them down to, 13th, 14th, bottom half of the table, with having players like Eden Hazard and Diego Costa playing awful week in, week out, even though they'd won the league the season before. It's a trying time, but the Premier League itself is changing, and it's very much could turn into a Serie A situation now, where you've got Juventus as that's it. It's Juventus' league every season, and that's the way it could go with Manchester City. So everyone's going to be clamouring for second place to be that Napoli, as it were. And if United carry on they're going with Jose, they're not going to be there.
And then it could be Arsenal, Man United being AC Milan and Inter Milan.
It is, the fallen giants, as it were.
Yeah.
Who are clinging on to a top table finish or a top six finish, or scrambling for a Europa League finish, which teams like Man United and Arsenal and Chelsea, Everton even, shouldn't be doing that.
Well, it's been a very long discussion about that because Man United, they're just awful at the moment, coming from a United fan himself. We got Spurs next on Monday night, which is a week today, on Bank Holiday. And to be honest, sometimes you might want to work during that instead of having the day off watching Man United play at the moment. But anyway, we're going to have a music break, then we'll talk about the other team of Manchester. Not Stockport. Manchester City, as they, of course, beat Huddersfield Town on Sunday afternoon. So we'll be right back after our music break here on Calon 105 FM. Welcome back to Let's Talk Sport on Calon 105 FM. And we're going to talk about Manchester City now because, well, they're hotter than the sun. I'm only saying that because this room is very warm, isn't it? We had to open the door in our music breaks. We look forward to those music breaks. But no, Manchester City winning by 6-1 at the Etihad, which actually is Arabic for United as well.
See that every week.
Yeah, I never get tired of it.
Whoa, you say it's your year every week and we don't moan about that? Come on.
Poor Joe, he's always talking about the mic.
I never once said those words on this show.
I've heard those words.
I've heard that from, well, to be honest, I've heard it from so many. I forget which Liverpool fan told me it. But Sergio Aguero again, a hat-trick. Connor, Aguero to me has just got to be one of the most consistent players I've ever seen in the Premier League. It's just always there for his team, and 8 years on since he joined, it's just an incredible stat for him with all these goals.
Yeah, arguably probably one of the best, if not the best, Premier League strikers in the league at the moment, especially for City as well, how well he's been for him over the years. Another hat-trick, as you said, against Huddersfield on Sunday, and just pushing forward from that. They've got so much depth there at that team as well that, you know, if Aguero is not firing, someone else could come into the frame as well and get a result for them. Gabriel Jesus found in the back of the net in that game as well. David Silva with his young baby boy. That
was nice to see.
Nice to see that on the pitch at the start of the game. And I forget who scored the other goal for him in that.
It was Congola. Oh no, it was David. It was an own goal. Sorry, from Huddersfield from Congola.
Oh, okay.
That was like with 6 minutes to go.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So basically, they've been piling the pressure on the whole game. Huddersfield, pretty much defensively, were all over the place, and I think they said before the game that they were going to react to how City lined up, but saw no reaction to that whatsoever. And City were pretty much all over them. It's just a matter of time as to when they would score and just how many they would score by the end of the day. And certainly Aguero pushing forward from the attacking positions was the main man behind the victory there.
It's funny as well, Joe. You know, Manchester City announced earlier this week that Kevin De Bruyne would be out for 3 months, which is a big problem. But with that result, they make it sound like he's gone and left City, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, obviously it seemed like a bit of a, how do I put it, setback. That's the word, I can't think of the word then.
If anything, it was a step forward.
But yeah, it doesn't seem to have bothered him. I know they're only, no disrespect, playing Huddersfield, a team that's going to be battling relegation this season. But what? But obviously, that could have affected them mentally, and it obviously proves how strong the team is mentally with the fact that they didn't lose the game, they didn't lose what they were playing. Obviously, Aguero, as you said, was going to come in. He's fantastic. He knows what to do. City's top scorer, and they've just got abundance players of anywhere. Got my words muddled up then. An abundance of players that can come in. Anyone can come in and take the place in the starting 11. You had Ben Foden, who was on the bench yesterday, and they talked about him potentially playing a couple of games this season for City. Phil. Ben Foden's the rugby player.
Right. Ben Foden's a rugby player, isn't he?
Yeah, came from our school for a bit, didn't he?
Why? Which school did he go to?
Bishop Eber High School, only for sixth form. Yeah, that's all.
He went to Tarpley for a couple of months then.
He did,
well.
Yes, yeah, you're right. But
high school.
We've all got our claims to fame, haven't we? So, there we go.
But back to football, yeah. City, obviously, strongest team. They're the favourites for the title this season.
Jack, Man City as well. When I think Joe and Conor have said it spot on. You know, the backup they have. You see teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid win Champions Leagues because they've got that backup. Where if one player goes out and they're one of the key players, it just doesn't matter, does it? They've just got that depth and it works very well.
Yeah, see, and that's why.
That's because they got so much money as well.
Yeah,
all your money.
That's why Pep really doesn't have to worry when he has a setback of an injury. I mean, of course, somebody like Kevin De Bruyne you're going to miss because he's a huge talent. You know, he's probably one of the best players. You know, maybe bar Aguero and the likes of that.
He was one of yours, wasn't he, at one point?
Yeah, most of them were. But yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, the only thing is that, you know, obviously Pep's had time and he's obviously had the money to bring these players in, whether they be starting 11s or somebody that comes in as a backup. And I think he's obviously spent well, and the owners have backed him sort of. And I think a lot of people have been talking about Arsenal in the last couple of games as well, and saying how Unai Emery he's going to struggle and is he going to last? But Pep Guardiola needed 2 seasons to change that City team. So the likes of Emery coming in, maybe Sarri coming in as well. They need 2 seasons, to implement that. Sarri won't get 2 seasons at Chelsea, we know that. But Arsenal may give Unai Emery 2 seasons, and I think that's what he needs. Because watching them on Saturday, they were terrible as well. So.
Sarri's going to need a lot more cigarettes if he's going to change that.
He wants. He's planning to quit smoking. He said on Sunday.
Well, he's already
Not if
quit.
he's still our
He's
manager.
already quit smoking.
Well,
He's eating the cigarettes, so he's not smoking.
I'll laugh if he found out it's worse to eat them than to actually smoke them.
He just needs
Probably not.
Needs
Yeah,
patches,
probably
doesn't he?
not actually.
Needs patches, doesn't he?
What's that?
Just needs to line his arms full of Nicorette patches or whatever. patches
Or
they
just
call
stop.
No, it's
As
the
my dad
tobacco
always
taste
said.
I thought he liked, isn't it?
In all fairness,
Yeah.
my dad always told me that he gave up smoking by just putting them in the bin and then that was it.
them. Me nan had to.
I mean, it probably was a bit more difficult, but that's,
me nan
that's what you have
swapped
to do.
cigarettes for polos. Long story short, she's
Yes.
got diabetes.
Well, to be
but
fair, seeing Morata play up front on his own would make me start smoking. So
What's that?
I said seeing Morata play up front on his own some games would make me start smoking if I was Sarri.
He
So
scored, didn't he?
he did, but he did nothing else. he couldn't miss.
I feel like United and Chelsea just got a bad end of those deals, didn't they? Really, of Lukaku and Morata, but oh well. But Joe, we'll talk about Burnley-Watford now because Watford are actually fighting for the Premier League title. Well, okay, for now maybe, but 2 wins out of 2. Win at Burnley. Turf Moor's not an easy place to go to, but Burnley did have to play against Istanbul in the. Oh God, I've just said Istanbul to a Liverpool fan. Oh, what have I done? They beat. He's showing 5. 5 what? I don't need to. Oh, why have I asked
5
him that?
fingers on his hand. That's
5
what
fingers,
he's
that's it.
5 gold
Oh,
rings.
technically 4 fingers and a thumb. So yeah,
Someone studied biology in school.
it's the only thing I can take credit from.
5 appendages.
But
Can we move
it's
on?
too warm, yes. It's too warm to get technical. But Joe just mentioned, Watford, they're looking good at the moment. But yet again, they're just another team that are going to stay up.
Yeah, obviously they started quite well last season and then they fell apart under Marco Silva after a couple of months. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they can continue, see if they could be the Burnley of this season. Highly unlikely, but yeah, I think the problem with Burnley is the fact that they did play in Europe on Thursday and obviously they're not used to the
They did play
exertions
that-
of European football.
In all fairness, they did play that game at home as well, so they didn't have to travel.
Yeah, but obviously they haven't got the squad for competing Thursday to Sunday every week. So we'll
They are professional footballers.
It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Watford performed very, very well. It's interesting to see Andre Gray score against his former club as well.
Only took him 3 minutes, didn't it?
Yeah. He always likes an early goal, Mr. Gray does. So, yeah, good performance from Watford.
And let's talk about Saturday then, because Chelsea-Arsenal. Well, it was just a typical Chelsea-Arsenal game, wasn't it, Jack? It had everything. The rivalry is always good as usual, but Chelsea always come out on top. I thought you'd like that one.
What was it?
Well, Chelsea always beat Arsenal,
Oh, I
normally.
thought there was a pun.
Yeah.
I was
No, you guys are thinking too much now about puns. That was last week. Connor missed that, and he's really good. He missed that show.
Yeah, maybe next week we'll do a pun one.
Nah, I'm alright.
All right.
Connor's already still trying to recover from last week. Give him some energy.
But yeah, I mean the game. How do I describe the game?
Say it in 3 words. 3 words. to describe that
Topsy-turvy.
game.
What
That's
the-
2
I
words.
I think what the hell. It probably describes that because both teams were attacking, but our defense was woeful, atrocious. I'm not actually sure what's going on. The good thing is we were good up front. That was the only thing I can say because defense-wise, we were terrible. And I'd say the first 20 minutes as well, Arsenal looked like, I don't know, they conceded 4 or 5 goals in the first 20 minutes. They looked shocking at the back. I mean, Bellerin was struggling. Socrates and Mustafi, I mean, they didn't look like they had any chemistry whatsoever.
It's not working, is it, for them at all?
No, well the thing is they're playing like a high line. They're trying to pass out as well, a bit like City did, and Socrates has no pace, so I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. I mean, when Morata scored that goal, it was him, Socrates, and Mustafi. So if Morata can't get that ball and score it, he's got no chance trying to get past them two. But yeah, I don't know what was going on. But then, sort of end of the first half, when they got that goal, we struggled as well. I mean, Aubameyang missed a sitter. Mkhitaryan missed a sitter. I think there was another one that missed a good chance as well. Was it Ozil? Someone like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how you can describe Arsenal more than just they have a lot of work to do.
Kind of for Mr. Emery, not the kind of start he wanted, and it was a tough 2 games. Being against Manchester City, the Premier League champions, and then going to Stamford Bridge. I mean, obviously it's early days, but not the start he wanted.
No, obviously you want to try and at least get 2 points out of that situation. Obviously it's going to be difficult playing against the champions in the first game, but you are at home, so you should be able to use that to your advantage at least and try and get at least a point from that. And then going away to a team like Chelsea, appointed Sarri during the summer, so new system that they're still trying to get used to. You would hope as well that you can maybe get a point from that situation. So to come from both games and you get nothing from them, it's a bit disappointing. But then again, you are facing against 2 top teams that were in the top 6 last season, under a new system with Emery. Several players coming in. What's his name? The 19-year-old defender, defensive midfielder, Guzezi or something.
David Luiz too.
Guendouzi.
Basically, yeah, David Luiz too. Put them next to each
A terrible sequel, I expect.
No, he actually looks like a better sequel. It looks like it looks like one of those movies, where the first one's pretty poor, but then the actual second one's a decent movie.
I'm trying to remember a film trilogy that was like that. Andrew loves his films. I know he does, but Toy Story kept getting better. Maybe I guess.
Home Alone 2?
Home Alone 2 was a good film.
It depends if you're going with like an
I like
absolutely
Back to the
tough
Future. Back
first
to the
film.
Future 2 is pretty decent.
That's a good one.
In terms of sequels that are better, the classic one is probably Aliens to Alien, but then Alien itself is really good. So it depends how much you rate David Luiz. Home Alone 2 is really amazing, but Home Alone 1 is really good. The Empire Strikes Back is seen as one of the greatest films of all time, but Star Wars is pretty badass too. So,
but then the new Star Wars films just got worse, didn't they?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Well,
that was the worst one I've ever seen.
Joe,
in my
I
life.
must remind you, speak with a mic in front, or I'm not going to
For the
hear you.
listeners at home, he said Last Jedi was the decent movie.
It's the worst film I've ever seen in my life.
We're going to end that
It's
conversation
not
right
a
there.
good, it's not a good film.
Clearly not
But
seen
anyway,
Davies, Dallas.
back to Arsenal, and I think they got a couple of pieces in place to get them pushing forward. They still need a few bits and bobs. It's going to take a couple of transfer windows, I think, for Emery to really get this squad properly turned around. I think the forward and midfield position is almost there. Maybe another midfielder potentially replace Ozil, because I just don't rate him anymore.
No, there was a lot of criticism.
And I
over
think the
Ozil.
defense needs to complete reshuffle, really, because I honestly thought entering the season that Bellerin's probably the best defender at the football club, and I just didn't even rate him anymore. I want Koscielny to be back,
Thing
just
is,
to add some bit more solidity to him. But
The thing is, Lichtsteiner playing left back last week was better than everybody else in that defence, and he was playing in the wrong position. So just play Lichtsteiner at right back now. Just playing where he best is, because Bellerin, like you said, was atrocious. He was getting done every single time. And then the worst thing, I think, for him...
did Pedro play on the left? He played on left, didn't he? And it was
Pedro
Hazard
played...
on the right.
Yeah, Pedro played for 65 minutes. Was it? No, Willian played for 65 minutes against Bellerin, and then Bellerin was like, oh, thank God he's going off, and then Hazard comes on for the last 20. Can you imagine if you were Bellerin, you've spent 65 minutes with Willian, and then you see, oh, Hazard's coming. Swap.
In all fairness, mentioning Hazard, despite all that link up to Real Madrid, he is a proper Chelsea player, though, isn't he? He has been there for them when needed, and he was just superb again on Saturday, even just with that short time he was on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, 20 minutes. I think the other thing is that obviously when he came on for the last 20 minutes, I think us as a team lifted, and I also think the team as Arsenal went, oh, no. That's all of them went, oh no, they've still got Eden Hazard to come on. So, he's a quality player. He is the player that we need in our team. If we lose him, I think we're still going to struggle. Yes,
staying for another year, isn't he?
He says he is. Yeah, until September comes round,
I was gonna say,
and the transfer window's
I keep
shut.
forgetting that. Yeah.
Then I'm not.
We're going to
I'm not
lose
saying
Rojo.
anything. Yeah. I'm not saying anything, but if he stays for another year, that I think we need that. So
It seems a bit like the Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Suarez type of deal, where it's like, yeah, I'll give you one more year, then I'm definitely off. See you later.
Yeah.
Deal with these. Yeah. No, Hector Bellerin, I just think fraud of a footballer, an absolute fraud of a footballer.
He sold me, and then I didn't get my refund.
He's that player who is really effective on FIFA, so people really rate him because he's dead quick, but he's absolute turd as a footballer.
Yeah.
His positional sense is horrendous. He's not strong enough for the challenge.
His
hair's getting worse and worse. And I've had some awful haircuts over the years.
Didn't whatchamacallit? Was it his name? Mark Brundle? Didn't recognise him on the.
Oh,
Martin Brundle.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me, I want to speak to this model. He just pushes away a £1 million footballer.
I think, in all fairness, I think that was probably why. But I don't think he's a football fan, is he, Martin Bundle?
Well, Ted Kravitz did it as well when he was doing his
Oh, yeah,
notebook.
Ted Kravitz said, "I've just found out who he is. Apparently, he plays for Arsenal." And then he said, "I live 10 minutes down the road from there. I should know this."
Can I also say Granit Xhaka also got another yellow card, so well done to him for being the worst footballer
Well
alive.
done to all those bettors out there. I'm sure they put some money on that. So,
That'd been a winning combination. Yeah, I think Bellerin's more suited to. It sounds bizarre, to a defence where he doesn't have to defend. If he was at Barcelona, I'm sure he'd be fine, where he just can get forward and run lots and be really quick and look all right. But first and foremost, as a defender, you've got to be able to defend, regardless of the whole modern fullback situation in football these days. Yeah, he's awful. Awful.
And before we finish off with Chelsea,
Yes.
there was a great story last night that I actually tagged Jack Price in, and it was about Mr. Courtois. Sorry. It wasn't at that time. We do apologise.
Sorry, I'm going to get banned from the show now, like
Yeah.
Carragher did from Sky. Sorry,
Jack,
guys.
here's your red
Sorry,
card.
guys.
6 months out. It was Courtois not getting a start for Real Madrid. Navas kept his number one spot. Okay, maybe
Good,
just
good.
for one game. But that, I laughed. I laughed very, very hard.
Yeah.
I was
Probably
sitting- I was
because
sit-
he doesn't have any match fitness because he didn't turn up to training. So
Well,
there you go.
I was literally in my brother's flat, looked at the story on my phone, and then I just laughed so hard I actually fell off the sofa. This is brilliant.
I thought you were going to say you sharted or something, but yeah, away from that. No, I think we're laughing at him, but he's gone there and he's sat on the bench now and getting 250 grand a week for doing nothing.
I mean, worse the problems to have.
Yeah. No, I quite rate Calon Navas. I'll be honest. I mean, he's not top level, but I'd take him over.
Yeah.
I'd take him over Thibaut Courtois just for the sake of Courtois as a
the-
tool.
The 2014 World Cup made him.
Oh yeah. It's typical World Cup syndrome. It's like when Liverpool signed all those Senegalese players after 2002.
Oh, yeah.
Elad Stewart. Well, speaking of spitting, Elad Stewart. What a
leg breaker as well.
yeah. He's just a vile human being. That one.
Yeah. Joe agrees as well. He can't stand him, says Joe Stanley. Quickly go for any other matches. Tottenham beating Fulham 3-1. Quickly, Joe. Spurs. Yet again, it doesn't matter with Pochettino. He's just got that talent where even though he hasn't signed anyone, I know it's only Fulham, their new team in the Premier League again, but they just look convincing.
Yeah, it was obviously a very good overall performance. Obviously, the goal from Fulham was a little bit sloppy from Spurs defensively, but good little finish by Mitrovic on the ground. Yeah, obviously, what they're calling in now, Trippier, they're Berry Beckham or something they're calling Trippier now.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's been on. It was like that at the World Cup as well when he scored that free kick.
And Harry Kane's finally got the monkey off his back by scoring in August.
I know, what a strange fact. I remember seeing that as a headline. I was like, really? That's a headline? Okay.
So, yeah, very solid performance from Spurs in the end. Obviously, when Fulham equalised, he stepped up a gear again and obviously took control of the game with the 2 quick-fire goals in the second half. There's a side that they should be beating, let's be honest, Fulham.
Yeah.
Who's come up, but yeah, it's not a bad performance from Spurs, to be honest.
Well, I mean, Tottenham have got to really try now when they play against Man United at Old Trafford on Monday night. So anyway, apart from all that, Wolves losing to Leicester at the King Power. Wolves really feeling the taste of the Premier League champions of 20.
That was another
16.
cracking own goal in that game as well.
It was, yeah. It was.
Great.
It was. I tell you what, they should actually do on Match
Dirty,
of the
wasn't
Day.
it?
Yeah.
They should do a match of the day at the end of each season now, as well as goal of the season, the best own goal of the season. I think that should.
Have a
that
tackle
should be a
from
thing.
Vardy.
Yeah. Oh well, Vardy. Yes, of course, getting a red card. He won't be happy about that. Would that mean he's got 2 games? Because
3.
it's a straight. Is it 3?
Straight out 3, yeah.
Could get
3,
more.
wow.
Could get more, depending
get
on whether
more.
the FA think it's of the challenge.
Oh,
So
blimey.
he's missing 3 games at least, which means he's missing Liverpool.
Well, that's delight there for Joe Stanley. Well, for Andrew, for his guilty pleasure club of Everton, they beat Southampton by 2-1.
Richarlison on fire.
Again.
Even Theo Walcott's in the goals. What more can you say? Yeah, looking all right. So far, so better than last season. Better than Big Sam, at least. It seems at least finally Goodison, the Everton fans seem to kind of be on board for once, because that's a very, like most football fans, it's a very toxic place to go when teams aren't playing well, and so the Everton fans for a long time hated Everton. But yeah, it seems that because we're actually doing all right now. Yeah, we love them again now, which is the case with just modern football in general. But no, positive for Everton. Yeah, decent start, and actually encouraging performances in terms of expressive football, free-flowing football is I'm still not totally sold on the back, but I think that's going to take time with the new signings to bed in fully. But
Mino wasn't playing, was he?
No.
So that would be a game changer, I think.
It will be, but again, I think he's one of those where he's very raw, so it's going to take him. I'm not expecting great things from instantly.
Classic World Cup buy.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, he's quick. He's strong. He's powerful. He's good in the air. Positional
They said
sense.
the same things about Calon Davies as well.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I think with Mino at least, he's a bit of a. He's just. I think he needs to work his positional sense a bit, and he against more intelligent teams he could get found out. I mean, when you're playing against England, it's not really that hard, is it?
I mean, you're saying all the same things about Calon Davies again.
Yeah, Calon Davies, I think is a genuinely good keeper. Mino, I think he's just raw.
I'm not going to
talent.
make any more jokes.
No.
Hey, again, Joe, you need to speak with a microphone.
Where are you going?
You need some new glasses, Andy. You think Calon Davies is a good goalkeeper?
Hang on. You backed Loris Karius for a good half of that season.
What's that
last
about?
year.
Loris Karius. And you can't be defending Loris Karius even before he made these mistakes as a semi-decent keeper or even a semi-lob on, and then go and slag off Calon Davies. No chance.
Don't pass in the mic. Don't pass in the
The
mic.
difference is, though, I had to try and back my own club's goalkeeper. You're not.
You should all be impartial on this show anyway.
You seem like a bad fan if you say your goalkeeper's not good enough.
Yeah,
And I admit now he's not good enough.
I don't support Stuttgart, but I wear the shirt.
I admit he's not good enough. But
Alexander,
I'd rather Eduardo
He's
than
on his way
Thibaut
out
Courtois.
anyway.
Alexander Haleb was a great player at Stuttgart. That's all I know.
Pavard's a great player.
could be on his way out. So.
I don't watch them.
You need a right back, so you're most probably going to get him
We'll
soon.
get him.
They need 4 at the back.
He can actually play centre back as well.
If only we
'cause
could
he was in the French
duplicate a
World
Luke
Cup
Shaw,
squad,
but
so.
with a right foot. Oh well. But Andrew, what was your response to Joe's comments?
I
I feel
think
like it's a press conference.
Yeah, I think he dropped the ball a bit, but that's always to be expected when you talk about Karius. I think it went. It's all about backing your own players. I admit, but that's like me saying that. I know Rob Lainton at Wrexham is the best goalkeeper in the world. With all the will in the world, I know he's not because I can be impartial. But as Joe sat here in his Liverpool shirt with his Liverpool's glass case, and his Liverpool dog tags, and Liverpool ring, and that not just a finger ring, then it's hard to be impartial at that point.
Well, I will say this now. You can all go on about these goalkeepers, but the best goalkeeper...
I think you've been watching too much SummerSlam because you're cutting too many promos.
What you gonna do, brother? Yeah. Oh, and a Liverpool phone case as well.
Well,
Yeah.
can I
And
just-
tighty whiteys and a wallet. Oh my god.
You can all go on and compare all these goalkeepers, but the best goalkeeper we ever saw in front of us was Roy Carroll.
And socks. You're joking. Hold on.
Fabian
Are they
Barthez.
actually? Oh my god. And he's not.
didn't he, against...
He's
Ross
not even
Turnbull.
joking. LFC socks as well.
Ross
Not even
Turnbull.
joking.
It was
They're
in
there.
as well.
It was.
Anyway, we're
Jesus.
going off topic as we always do on Let's Talk Sports Show, and we will have a music break because I think there might be a fight.
Are we actually
outside
going
the
to talk
studio.
about those other sports that we've magically heard of that they're out there as well? As we've
Hopefully
got 13 minutes left.
Hopefully in the next 10 minutes, but we'll do our best. We can't promise you guarantees here at Let's Talk
You
Sport.
promised A to Z at the beginning of the show.
Well, name me a sport. That's Zed. Zanzibar? No, that's a country.
No.
Zumba.
Yeah, Zumba. There
Oh,
we
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Okay, why?
Zoology? Yeah.
Zoology's a sport.
Yeah, if you get really into it, it's totally. Yeah. You're getting your little pom-pom while you're doing it. Yeah, totally.
I used to love those sweets. Pom-poms.
No idea of those.
Bonbons, that was it.
bonbons.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I must mute everyone, and then we will have a music break. It's Utah Saints with Something Good. Welcome back to Let's Talk Sport. Now, of course, we've only got about 9 minutes left, so we're going to try and talk about free sports.
We've got to talk about
You see,
B
you
to
talk-
Z.
You see, you talking's already delaying it.
Me?
Yeah. It's just about to start.
I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah, and you said A to Z. There's been no A's yet either.
Well, no, I just said A and Z.
Well, still, there's been no A's.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about sports from A.
There's been an F.
American football.
Let's
There's been a lot of-
jump to F.
No, archery. It was the World Archery Championships in Nottingham this week. Okay, Jack, let's talk about F1
Okay.
because
So we're doing another F.
the big news happened again.
No, we're going to call it motorsports.
Yeah, doing N now.
Nice,
See,
nice.
I like
What a
his
save.
What a save!
Better save than David De Gea at the weekend.
I tell you what, it was a better save than Grosjean in Azerbaijan. Oh,
That was
yeah,
Ericsson's fault.
That was Ericsson's fault, apparently. But anyway, Alonso's going. It's over. He's going to leave at the end of the year. We were kind of expecting it, but we didn't want it to happen.
It
did we?
hurts, doesn't it?
hurts, yeah.
It does. And not just for McLaren, it hurts for the whole sport, really, doesn't it? So, It's going to be a worse sport next year, and this one hasn't even finished yet.
No, but the driver transfers has gone crazy.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah. Carlos Sainz now going to McLaren. That's interesting. Does Stoffel Van Dorn stay?
No, I hope
That
not.
hurts just as bad.
Well, I can't see Kimi Raikkonen going there now after the links with him and Ferrari again, but we'll see. But for Alonso, they were a wasted talent over the last 5 years, at least. Would you say?
Yeah. The last at least 4 with McLaren have been woeful. You know, we saw a great world champion Jenson Button leave the sport on a low point, really, as well, didn't we? So, you know, to lose Alonso at the end of this season without, you know, having a win since
2013 Spain. Yeah.
I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it? So to lose him is a huge shame. But you know, you did say off air that Jenson Button reckons that he might be back not after the 2019 season in 2020, depending on how good McLaren have come. Hopefully they're a little bit better because they haven't done anything in 4 years. So let's hope another two helps them out. So, but yeah, I mean, I think everyone would like Alonso to come back, but do you think he's possibly gone for good now? It depends.
I think it depends. If he wins Indy 500, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know.
He's going to get a lot of endorsement deals if he wins that, because he'll only be how many won the Grand Crown?
Only Graham Hill has done it.
Yeah, he'd be the second person.
And that was back in the 80s. So yeah, so it's been a long while. It's funny because it's not a challenge anyone's really tried before.
Didn't one Pablo Montoya try it as well?
I don't know if did he win in Monaco? I don't know if he ever won Monaco.
He's got 2, isn't he? I don't know what.
Has he got 2 Monaco?
No, he's got 2. He's got 2 out of the 3.
He must not have Le Mans then. He's probably too fat to get in the car. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing with Montoya. He's quite a big guy. Do you remember that one season he couldn't get in an Indy car? And they told you got to go and train for 2 weeks. Get rid of it all. Somehow he fit. I think they went past the regulations for him to fit in that car. But American sports, don't get it. We'll move on though. We'll just quickly mention the tennis. Novak Djokovic winning Cincinnati, and for the last month or so, Wimbledon and the Cincinnati Masters. It's the fact that he's done the Golden Masters sweep. No other player's done that before, which is all the Masters titles. There's 9 of them. And he hadn't won that. He was in the final of this one 3 years ago and lost to Federer then. So revenge was sweet for Novak Djokovic. He's back. Surely he's back. A Grand Slam and that. It's a big statement.
Well, let's hope so, because, you know, like, again, he's had quite a few... He's had a good year of poor, hasn't he? So, you know, let's hope he now maintains that, because obviously with Andy Murray out, you need the likes of the top 3, top 4, you know, to be in there and fight around it. So to have Novak Djokovic obviously back for 2018 is huge. And sadly for you, Jamie, Roger Federer didn't get it. So
No.
It stands time to shine for Switzerland.
But Federer beat Stan in the semi.
Kei Nishikori. Kei Nishikori.
Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that.
Jack's request of Kei Nishikori winning a Grand Slam is still going here at Let's Talk Sport.
I was just jump in. Sorry, that thing still in place where every time Federer wins a tournament, he gets a cow in Switzerland? Is that still a thing?
Oh, that was a great story.
Or is it an urban myth? Is it one of those?
He did get a cow.
Did he?
Yeah, he called it Fred, I think, or something like that once upon
You
a
should
time.
never name cows, because then it just comes too close of an attachment.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a pet. Brilliant. But yeah, no, I think it was a few years ago he won Wimbledon for the record 7th time, I think it was. And he got given a cow from Lindette.
Will it be like a ready-to-eat cow? As in, all you need to do is kill this one and it's good to go? Or is it like, here's a
Federer's
calf?
Steakhouse opening soon.
I remember FedEx did a
You'll
cheesy...
15 love it.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I remember when FedEx...
Side order of Swiss cheese on that as well.
Federer's fry
That'll
up.
be a nice steak.
Federer's fry up. I quite like
fryer.
that. I remember FedEx did a...
He's a classy
this
guy.
this guy's
He's a classy
class.
Swiss fella. He's
not going to be flipping burgers in a burger van.
It's not EastEnders. It's not the calf. He's not eating pissing Beale. No.
Oh, my God.
Might need an edit there.
Oh, dear.
quick, move on.
56 minutes, 32 seconds. I'm writing it down.
Move on.
But no, it's funny, you know, for 10 years we've had this top 4 dominance, and even though they've all had their injury problems, they're still dominating the sport. It's crazy.
Yeah, they'll be here for another 10 years.
Oh, no. Federer will be 46.
Zimmer frame.
Where's Tsonga these days? Why hasn't he become a Grand Slam champion yet?
Because he's French.
Okay.
I don't know. The last French player to win a Grand Slam was... I can't remember. It wasn't in the 21st century anyway. Maybe it's that curse.
What about that Argentina guy? Del
Potro.
Yeah, Del Potro.
Juan. Oh, I love Juan Del Potro. He's a certainty that you're going to be watching him all night long, because not in that way.
Because he can't finish a set.
Because he can't finish a set. That's it. Every time he has a set point, it goes on for another 5 games.
He should have played against that 6'7" guy that was at Wimbledon this year.
John Isner.
Yeah, he should have played against him.
Oh god, that game would have gone even longer than 7 hours. Oh my goodness me. They both have the profession of making the matches longer than Britney Spears' first marriage. Anyway, I don't know why.
I didn't realise you were so in depth into pop culture.
Well, a friend of mine worked at Britney Spears on Saturday at the arena, but that's
What worked at her? What was he doing? Toenails, giving her a new nose? Or giving her an uplift? I don't know. He worked at it, or he's trying to work to.
No, all of that. I've heard the makeup team for Britney Spears is very complicated.
Bob the Builder, one of those. Yeah.
From the start to the top, just like any building. But anyway, we must wrap up here.
And I'll be hosting a show next week because Jamie will be in jail or something like that. Those comments right there.
Him and his toxic Britney Spears stories.
Actually, you say next week, Connor. What are you trying to do to us? It's bank holiday next week.
Yeah,
so
we're not going to be here.
We're not going to be here. So my thanks to Jack, Connor, Joe, and Andrew for this week. Remember to go on our YouTube channel to subscribe to our videos. We're going to do a few Premier League previews after this, and then they'll be up during the week. So we won't be here next week, so we'll be back on the week after.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I could have just said that.
Yeah.
2 weeks. But oh well.
You like to say things in long sentences, don't you?
I do.
Anticipation.
I always think about the uni assignments with word counts. Right? How do I make that sentence a bit longer to reach 2,000?
You had the description.
So we have got
of
like
the
a
word
minute to
that
kill
you-
as well, so you need to drag it out a little bit longer.
I'll do that Alan Partridge scene off. Off Alan Partridge when he's got 20 seconds left. He's got to laugh, and he keeps going, "What a funny story." News. Anyway, we will be gone.
News or nudes?
News.
What?
Oh, right. I've
Andrew,
not seen that scene the same.
Andrew, you go with whatever you thought.
Right, okay.
This is Jamie's version because he's just dragged it on another 10 seconds.
Oh, right, okay.
We've still got 30 seconds.
Any Liverpool jokes we can make at that time? Yeah.
What? Hey, what ship has never made the dock in Liverpool? The Premiership. Anyway, we will be back in 2 weeks' time. From then, it's goodbye.
Calon FM on 105 FM, uniting our community.